Hello and welcome everyone to week 3 Iyengar Yoga invigorating series. Today I'm starting my practice with a random cat I've been feeding. Don't know their name. They'll be gone in a minute probably. As you can see, I've got my props. So I've got blocks. I've got 4 blocks today. I'm sitting on one and I'm sitting on a blanket. I also have a belt and a chair with me. Sitting in Sukhasana, lift your chest up, roll the shoulders back and down. And now lift your hands up to the sky, straighten your spine, stretch the sides of the body and release the legs down. So your chest is still lifting. Let me show you from the side what the configuration of the spine is in this pose. The spine is completely vertical here, starting from the lumbar spine. Your hands are placed at the sternum bone, at the bottom of the sternum bone. The thumb should be lifting the sternum bone. So let's look at it from the front. The thumb is lifting the sternum bone. The rest of the fingers are pointing away from you and shoulders are still down. Again, release the legs down. Cross your feet at mid-shin. Your feet are active. The toes should be pointing towards the front. So in Sukhasana, chant Om 3 times. And get ready for the sequence. So take a deep breath in and out and release the hands down. And again, lift the hands up to the ceiling, stretch the sides of the body, lift the chest and come back to Sukhasana. And now come to standing. We're starting with Tadasana, just like in the 2 weeks so far. So standing in Tadasana in the middle of the mat, bring your big toes together, lift the kneecaps, press the thighs back, stretch to Tadasana. Now lift your hands up to Urdhvahastasana. Hands are parallel to each other and now back down to Tadasana, lift the chest up. Let me show you from the side. So this is the side view. You can see the spine is still vertical. The buttocks are tucking in, the legs are pressing back, the kneecaps are lifting, and now move your hands by your ears, and now come back down to Tadasana. The next pose is Baddhanguliyasana. So this is where you interlock your fingers. You can see I've got an interlock in front of me. Roll the hands out, and now lift the hands up towards the ceiling, bring your elbows in. And again, roll the shoulders down, lift the chest up. Keep your spine vertical, keep the buttocks tucking in. The kneecaps are lifting. The legs are pressing down into the mats. However, the trunk is moving up with the hands. And now back to Tadasana. Again, chest is lifting, keep the chest lifting, and we're doing the other interlock. And now roll the palms out. Again, lift the hands up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Bring the elbows in and lift the trunk up. Your legs are still pressing down. The kneecaps are lifting up and come back to Tadasana. And now from Tadasana, come to Paschima baddhahastasana. So you're holding your elbows. We're going to do it with right hand in front and then right hand back. So you can see here that my chest is lifting and I'm using my elbows to draw the shoulders down the back. The chest is lifting, the hands are holding the elbows, and now release the hold of the elbows, and we're swapping the hands. And again, draw the elbows down and use the elbows to draw the shoulders down. Lift the chest up, tuck the buttocks in, press the kneecaps into the knee and come back to Tadasana. So now we're moving on to the next pose, which is Trikonasana. Hands to your chest, bend your knees, jump or step your legs wide if you have a knee problem. And now turn the left foot in and the whole of the right leg out. Keep your chest facing forward. And now stretch the body to the right. Place your hand on your support, so you can see I'm placing my hand on the chair, stretching the sides of the body evenly, and now take your hand down onto the back of the shin or the back of the knee. Lift your left hand up to the ceiling and turn the chest to face forward. And now come back up, leading with the left hand. Turn your feet to face forward, and we're going the other way. Now right foot in, the whole of the left leg out. And now take the body to the left. Again, use the support of your knees. Stretch the sides of the body evenly. Turn the chest to face the ceiling, right hand up towards the ceiling. Both legs are straight throughout the pose. Press the kneecaps into the knee. And now leading with the right hand, come up, turn your feet to face forward and jump back to Tadasana. The next pose is Uttanasana, and it's a forward stretch. It's an intense forward stretch. You need your support for that. So take your 3 blocks, place them in front of you. I'm going to show you the pose from the side because we're going to concave back first. And now place your hands onto your waist. Take your elbows back, lift your chest up, and now leading with the breastbone, come down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders for the concave back position. So you can see here my chest is moving towards my chin and the chin is moving up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And now I'm taking the hands back towards my ankles and releasing my head down. So this is the final pose. But then again, if you need support, take the support, place the blocks, place the books if you have them by the ankles, and place the palms onto the support. So keep your buttocks up. So let me show you from the front. The buttocks are up, the whole of the body is releasing down. When you look at your kneecaps, they should still be lifting up. Move the shoulders away from the neck and press the palms down. And now come back to concave back and come back to Tadasana. Coming to the next pose, which is Adhomukha Svanasana. It's a downward dog. So from Tadasana, going to Uttanasana first. So place your hands underneath your shoulders. Have your back concave. And now bend your knees. Place your hands in front of you. So walk forward with your hands and walk back with your legs. Come to a triangle position. Your hips are lifting. The hands and the feet are hip width apart. And now press onto your hands to take the trunk towards the thighs and open the back of the knees. So your kneecaps are still pressing into the knee. Your chest is moving towards your legs. And now last of all, roll the upper arm out. And now lift your heels up towards the ceiling. And now draw the heels down and come back to Uttanasana. So concave back again. And now coming to the full pose. So place the hands by the ankles. Have your legs straight. And now transfer your hands onto your waist, leading with the breastbone. Come up. Come back to Tadasana. And we're going to the first sitting pose, which is Dandasana. So this is the staff pose. It's a sitting version of Tadasana. So here the back is still vertical. I'm sitting on my support here to keep the back lifting. So stretch the legs in front of you, place the hands by your hips and lift your chest up. Let me just bring the support close so you can see better. And now hands up to the ceiling, hands up to the sky, lift your chest, keep the lumbar long, press the buttocks into the support and keep the chest lifting. The next pose is Urdhvamukha Janusirsasana. So we're doing Janusirsasana with a concave back. So you can see one leg is bent, one leg is stretched. I'm looping the belt over my foot and concaving my back. So the chest is lifting. Let me show you from the front. So you can see the foot of the bent leg. Have your left leg bent, so draw the knee of the left leg and bring the left heel towards the right thigh, but don't press it into the thigh. Have the left heel facing the ceiling, and now loop the belt around the right foot. Have your right leg stretched, and now lift the chest up, pulling on the belt. Draw the shoulders down and keep the back concave. So your chest is lifting, and now stretch both legs in front of you. and coming to the right leg. So bend the right leg, draw the knee out and turn the heel to face the ceiling, the sky. Loop the belt around the left foot, stretch the left leg, pull on the belt and lift the chest up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. The pose I'm going to show you from the side what the back is doing. So the back is still concave and you've got your right leg bent. You're pulling onto the belt to bring the chest forward, bring the dorsal in. So it's the upper portion of the spine. You can see it's moving in. Draw the shoulders back. Move your dorsal in so you can see the upper portion of the spine is moving in, and now pull on the belt. Bring your chest forward. Look at the ceiling, look at the sky. And now extend both legs in front of you. Come back to Dandasana. Stretch the legs and lift the chest. And now coming to Virasana. So this is the next pose. We need a blanket for that. Let me show you the pose first. So I'm going to show you the pose from the back. So your feet are by the side of the support. Your ankles are pressing into the support. I'm pulling the flesh of the calf back and out to provide space for my knees and my buttocks to go down. And you can see the pose from the back. I'm sitting straight with my back vertical, lifting the hands up. And now let's do it together. So you're sitting on your support. You've got the knees together. And now ankles are by the sides of the support. Sit down in Virasana and now lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Lift your chest up. Have your buttocks pressing into the support so you can lengthen the lumbar. And now place your hands on the soles of the feet. You can bend your elbows and again lift your chest. So this is Virasana. And from there we're going to Baddhakonasana. So this is Baddhakonasana. I've got my knees bent and feet by the perineum. The chest is still lifting. So you can see I was holding the belt. So when you do that, hold the belt. Have your knees drawing down onto the support. So I've got blocks underneath my knees, but they are not propping my knees up. They help my knees release down. So this is Baddhakonasana. From Baddhakonasana, we're going to Adhomukha Virasana. So I'm going to show you from the side. I've got my support there. I've got my blanket to place my forehead on it. So bring your feet together, bring your heels together, separate the knees, mat width apart, and now release the buttocks down onto the heels. So throughout the pose, the buttocks are pressing into the heels. Your hands are drawing forward and your chest initially is lifting up, and then you're releasing the body down and forward. Your forehead is resting on the support. The body is drawing forward. So using the hands, take the body forward and down. Rest the forehead onto the support. Press the buttocks into the heels. So this is the pose where the body is moving forward by the buttocks. The buttocks are moving down towards the heels. And now lift up, come up. And we're going to the next pose. The next pose is Paschimottanasana. It's a forward bend. Let me show you the full pose first, but you need a chair for that to be able to stretch the body forward. So you can see I'm using the belt first. So this is the full pose from concave back. I'm stretching the body forward, lifting the chest all the time. And first I'm holding my toes. And then I'm holding the sides of my feet. Again, stretching the body forward, looking at the ceiling, concave back. And then from there, go forward. So this is the full pose. This is Paschimottanasana. You see I'm fighting my legs there to go down. So the legs are pressing down and now come back up to concave back. So if you cannot reach the feet, if you cannot reach the legs, use the chair. And it's a great support there. You can see I can use the chair to go forward without straining my back. So it really depends where you are. It doesn't matter really if you use the chair or not. It's just an intermediate stage to achieve the full pose. So on the chair, press the forehead into the chair, release the body down, release the hands forward through the chair seat. And now come back up to Dandasana. So let's do this pose again with the belt. So just like I demonstrated at the very beginning, concave back first. So pull on the belt, lift the chest up, have your legs pressing down. So the legs are straight throughout the pose. And now go forward. See if you can catch hold of the toes. Otherwise, keep wriggling your hands up the belt. And now go forward. And now take the head down onto the knees. From there, come back up to Dandasana. And we're coming to the next pose, which is Bharadvajasana 1. It's a twist. So bend your knees, catch hold of the left foot, take your left foot to the side, and now bend your right knee, place the right leg over the left foot, and now turn to the left. Press your right hand into the left thigh and take your left hand behind you and twist. So inhale, lift, exhale, turn. The head is facing the same direction as the chest, so do not turn your head yet. So in the last 2 weeks, we've done that pose. And then come back to Dandasana, and we're going to the other side. So now catch hold of the right foot and now place the leg over the right foot. And now again, turn to the right. So left hand over the right thigh, right hand behind you and turn. So to do that, inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, turn. Turn the body. Your buttocks are still pressing down into the support and your knees are facing forward. And now release and come back to Dandasana. Let's do it again with the hands stretching up. So have your knees in front of you. And now stretch the hands up to the ceiling. Stretch the sides of the body. Twist to the left. And now place your left hand behind you, right hand pressing onto the left thigh. And turn and come back to Dandasana. The second side, so turning to the right. So have your left leg over the right foot, stretch your hands up towards the ceiling, turn to the right, and now place your left hand onto the right thigh, right hand behind you and turn. So inhale, lift, and exhale, turn. Press the buttocks down into the support. So throughout the pose, the buttocks should be even. And now release and come back to Dandasana. From Dandasana, we're doing Supta Baddhakonasana. So it's a supine version of Baddhakonasana, which we've done today. So you can see I'm rolling my blanket here to get enough support for my back. And I'll also need additional blocks because the blanket is quite short. So I need some blocks behind the blanket. So keep the same height of the blocks and the blanket when you're preparing your support. And now sit in front of your support. Bring your feet together by the perineum. Release the knees out. So bring your feet as close to the perineum as possible. And have your support underneath your back. It shouldn't be jamming into your back. So you can see I'm correcting it now. And now releasing the body down. So this is Supta Baddhakonasana with support. So you can see I've got support for my head. And now stretching the hands behind. I'm again holding my elbows just like we did in Paschima baddhahastasana. So this is a supine pose where the legs are bent and the chest is lifting. The abdomen is releasing down. So if your support is jamming into your lumbar, you can see I'm correcting it now. You need to move it away from you towards the head. So have your abdomen releasing down. The buttocks are releasing down as well. And the chest is lifting. Release the knees down. And again, remember, just like we did in Baddhakonasana, release the knees out to the side. And have your support underneath your knees if your knees are hurting. So keep the body releasing down. Chest is lifting. You're going to stay in this pose for a couple of breaths. So take a deep breath in and out. And now come back up. So come back onto your elbows. And we're coming back to Dandasana. So lift your chest up. And then again, hands to the ceiling. See if you can stretch the body some more. Now take your hands down to Dandasana and we're moving to the next pose. So you can see I've got my wall here. So it's actually a fence. So you can find a bit of the wall to work with. Bring the mat narrow end to the wall. Sit in the Dandasana first. So I'll show you Setubandha sarvangasana. So this is the next pose. And this is a preparation for back bends with support. So I'm placing the blocks underneath my sacrum. So it's a flat bit of your spine. And it's important to have the blocks there. So you're not feeling the pain in the lumbar. And now if you do it with me, just start with your knees bent and then lift your hips up and only then place the blocks underneath your hips and stretch your legs. So in this pose, you can see that the legs are in line with the hips. The legs are stretching, the kneecaps are pressing into the knee, and I'm on the top of my shoulders. So the chest is lifting towards the ceiling and my chin is moving towards the chest. The neck is long here and the hands, the palms are facing the ceiling. So you can see I'm wriggling now towards the top of my shoulders, bringing my chest towards my chin. And now pressing the buttocks in, I'm lengthening the lumbar. So it's important to keep the lumbar long by pressing the buttocks, tucking the buttocks into the body, just like we did in Tadasana actually at the very beginning. So here you're staying in this pose, lifting the chest up and releasing the abdomen down. The hips and the legs are in line. And you're pressing the feet into the wall on your support. So you might need 4 blocks or you might need 3 blocks. It really depends on the length of the body. And to come out of the pose, bend the knees, place the feet on the mat, and now remove the blocks, lifting the hips up, and only then release the abdomen down. And keep your knees bent. And now roll onto your right side completely. Press onto your left hand to come up to sitting. And we're preparing to Savasana. So sit in the middle of the mat. Have your support, have your blanket for underneath your head to lengthen your neck. And I'm coming down onto my elbows. And again, I'm lifting the hips up to tilt my pelvis, tilt my hip bones towards my chest. And only then I'm releasing the legs down. So this is Savasana. The palms are facing the ceiling and the toes are out. So when you're on the mat, be on the length of the mat. Have the support for your head. You can see my neck is long. And if you feel discomfort in the back, bend your knees and place your feet apart, mat width apart, knees together. So this is for people who feel discomfort in the back. Otherwise, just stretch your legs in front of you, have them straight, and release the toes out. So Savasana, the last pose. Release the body completely. And ensure the blanket is actually touching your shoulders. It should be a reminder for your shoulders to release down. So in all the poses today we've done, we release the shoulders down. So take a deep breath in, and with the exhalation, release the whole body down. So you're going to stay in this pose for a couple of minutes to relax the body completely after the sequence today. And to come out, bend your knees, roll onto your right side completely. And now place the left hand in front of the face and now press onto your left hand to come to sitting. Sit in Sukhasana. And now place your hands at the sternum. Thank you very much for the class. I'll see you next week for week 4 of the Invigorating series. Remember to subscribe to my channel